Imagine waking up on a warm summer morning. You step outside, and for the first time in your life, the air is perfectly, hauntingly still. There is no buzzing of bees in the garden, no chirping of crickets in the grass, and no colorful butterflies dancing over the flowers. You might think it sounds peaceful. No more itchy mosquito bites, no more flies landing on your lunch, and no more spiders in the corner of the room. But within weeks, that peace would turn into a global nightmare. We often treat insects like pests or background noise, but they are actually the tiny engineers that hold the entire world together. Today on Futurixia, we are removing the smallest gears from the machine of life to ask, what if all insects disappeared? The first and most immediate crisis would be in our grocery stores. We often hear that bees are important, but we don't realize just how much we rely on them. About 1/3 of the world's food crops depend on insect pollination. Without bees, wasps, moths, and beetles to move pollen from one flower to another, plants can't produce seeds or fruit. Within the first year, your favorite foods would vanish. Apples, coffee, chocolate, almonds, strawberries, and pumpkins would become memories. While we could still grow wind-pollinated crops like wheat, rice, and corn, our diet would become incredibly bland and nutritionally poor. Global food prices would skyrocket, and the resulting famine would likely trigger wars and economic collapse on a scale humanity has never seen. But the problem goes much deeper than just our food. Insects are the great recyclers of the planet. Think about what happens when an animal dies in the forest, or when a tree falls. It doesn't just stay there forever. A massive army of beetles, ants, and fly larvae, maggots, descends on the waste, breaking it down and returning the nutrients to the soil. Without insects, the world would literally start to pile up with dead things. Carcasses would rot slowly through bacteria alone, leading to massive outbreaks of disease. The soil would lose its richness, meaning even the crops we can grow would eventually wither and die, because the earth has run out of natural fertilizer. Then there is the bottom-up collapse of the food chain. Insects are the primary food source for millions of other species. Songbirds, frogs, lizards, and freshwater fish all rely on insects to survive. If the insects vanish, the birds vanish next. Then the animals that eat those birds, like hawks and foxes, start to starve. This is what ecologists call a trophic cascade. It's like a game of Jenga, where you pull out the bottom row. Eventually, the entire tower falls over. The biodiversity of the planet would be cut in half in just a few years, leaving behind a biological desert where only a few specialized scavengers remain. The loss of insects would even change the very air we breathe and the water we drink. Many insects, like dragonflies and mayflies, spend their early lives in the water, where they act as nature's cleaning crew by eating algae and waste. Without them, our lakes and rivers would become stagnant, green, and toxic. On land, ants and beetles play a vital role in aerating the soil, digging millions of tiny tunnels that allow oxygen and water to reach the roots of plants. Without this natural tilling, the ground would become hard and compacted, making it nearly impossible for new forests to grow. The Earth's ability to absorb carbon dioxide would drop, potentially accelerating climate change to a breaking point. Humanity would likely try to solve the problem with technology. We are already seeing prototypes for robotic bees, tiny drones designed to fly from flower to flower to pollinate crops. But think about the scale. There are quintillions of insects on Earth. Trying to replace them with machines would be like trying to replace the entire atmosphere with oxygen tanks. The cost and energy required would be astronomical. We might save a few high-value crops for the wealthy, but the vast majority of the natural world would simply wither away. We would be living in a high-tech bubble on a dying planet. This what-if scenario is actually more terrifying because it's already starting to happen in slow motion. Scientists have noted an insect apocalypse over the last few decades, with populations dropping by as much as 75% in some parts of the world due to pesticides, habitat loss and climate change. We are currently pulling the gears out of our own ecosystem without fully understanding what they do. The disappearance of all insects wouldn't just be an inconvenience. It would be the end of the world as we know it. However, there is a lesson in this catastrophe. It shows us that in the eyes of nature, there is no such thing as a useless creature. The tiny fly you swat away is part of the system that keeps your coffee growing and your water clean. The spider you fear is the guardian that keeps the population of other pests in check. We are all part of a massive invisible web, and our survival depends on the survival of creatures that are too small for us to even notice most of the time. Protecting insects is one of the easiest ways we can protect our future. By planting native flowers, reducing the use of harsh chemicals in our gardens, and preserving wild spaces, we are keeping the great recyclers and tiny pollinators on the job. We don't need a space elevator or a second Earth nearly as much as we need the bees and the beetles. Ultimately, a world without insects is a world without us. They were here hundreds of millions of years before the first humans, and they have survived 5 mass extinctions. They are the true masters of the Earth. If we want to keep our place on this planet, we have to learn to live with and respect our tiny 6-legged roommates. So the next time you see a bee in your garden or an ant on the sidewalk, will you see a pest, or will you see a tiny engineer working to keep your world alive? Would you be willing to live in a world without chocolate and coffee if it meant never having to deal with a mosquito again? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your thoughts on the balance of nature. Thanks for joining us for this tiny but mighty adventure here at Futurixia. If you enjoyed exploring the silent collapse today, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell. We have many more journeys into the what-ifs of our planet waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and look out for the little guys.